Hello students, I am Dr. S.N Rajan. Today we are going to discuss the topic which is structured query language. In short, it is called SQL. Every database, every relational database provides you a language, and this structured query language is a very common one. It is a very standard one. If you know what SQL, you can work with any RDBMS system, whether it is Oracle or Sybase or Ingress or DB2 and MySQL. So, this is a standard language which works with any kind of RDBMS system, and this is a very convenient one, convenient language, known also as a 4th generation language. It is not a high level language that this C and Java and all these things are there. For RDBMS system, to interact with the RDBMS, to interact with database system, you have to use this language only, structured query language. This is a common language which works with any kind of RDBMS system. So, this system, the basic feature of this system is that you have to just specify what you want to do, how this work will get done. It is the problem, it is the headache of the RDBMS system, how this work will get done. You just have to specify what you want to do using this SQL language, then RDBMS system will take care of that, will do accordingly and will give you the result. So, in order to interact with the database, this language is there, which is known as a structured query language. So, our objective of this lecture is to explore basic commands and functions of SQL. What are the basic commands and functions of SQL? How to use SQL for data administration, to create table, to insert some data, to update data, to delete data and to perform query. So, the features are there in the SQL. How to use SQL for data manipulation, addition, modifying, deletion and retrieval of data. How to use SQL to query a database to extract useful information. So, all these tasks will get done if you are by the help of this SQL only. So, a structured query language environment, the whole environment is that where it will perform, where it will be able to operate. So, a set of schema catalog, for example, you have a catalog. Catalog means a set of schema that contains the description of the database. The database description is somewhere stored in the catalog. It means metadata is there, and this metadata repository is known as catalog, where in catalog the information about the database, the data about the data about the database is stored. Then you have your schema, your own work schema. For example, you are working in the production department, so you have a production schema. If you are working in the finance department, so you have a finance department schema, various tables pertaining to the financial transactions and financial data. If you are working in the marketing department, you have another kind of schema. So, this is the schema. Schema means the design of database, the kind of tables that are there, interrelation of those tables is termed as schema. So, our SQL is categorized into 3 categories, where first category is known as data definition language, DDL, where we using those SQL commands, we specify our schema, we create tables, that we create database, we create tables, we drop tables, we create index, like that. So, DDL is data definition language. The SQL which is there in the DDL category are there to create a database, to create the schema, to create the tables, to create views, to create index, etc., etc. Then, in order to manipulate those data, we have another set of commands in the SQL, which is known as data manipulation language. The set of commands which comes under the category of DML is used to manipulate the data, data manipulation language. So, all these And then third category is data control language. So, all these combined together are known as SQL. The SQL commands comes under three categories. You can categorize the commands into one. One is DDL, one is DML, and third one is the DCL. Then we have some data types also. That RDBMS system provides us some data types, string type, where character, variable character, long characters are there. These are the string type of data. Numeric data types are declared as a numbers, P, Q. I mean general purpose numeric data type. So, how much digit will be there after decimal and how the total digit is there, total digit P, out of which Q number of digits will be after decimal. So, this is P, Q. Then we have integer, then we have float type of numeric values. Then we can have data types like date and time. So, all these data types are there, and their characteristics will be there in the database tables. DDL, DML, DCL and the database development. So, in DDL we have the create table, as I told earlier, create index, create view. So, all the database objects, database object means the objects that you create which get stored in your database with some specified namespace are known as database objects. For example, you are creating a table. The table is database object. You are creating a view, that is another kind of database object. Index, sequence, procedure, function, they all are database objects for which we use this create command. Create table, create index, create procedure, create views, create function, like that. So, these create commands, then we drop table or truncate also. We use drop table, drop view, drop index, drop sequence, like that. So, those all commands are comes under the category of DDL. Then we have the DML, another category like insert, update and delete. They are the transactional command. They are the transactional command which using which we perform some transactions. Then we use some query also for select with the help of select command. So, all the select commands and their sub categories, specifications. Then insert, update, delete command, those are transactional commands. They all comes under the category of DML. And third, we have the data control language, using which we grant some privilege to other user. We add, revoke privilege, we commit, the transactions that we perform permanently to database, we roll back the transactions. So, all those commands comes under the category of data control language. Major create statements, create schema. Schema means defines a portion of a database owned by a particular user. Create database, create table space, create index. As I told earlier, the finance department would like to have their own schema in which they will have multiple tables and multiple indexes, like that. So, all combined together is known as a schema. So, they will define their own schema, entity with using the entity. First they declare the entity relationship diagram, and accordingly they create tables and establish relation with that. Then create views. Views are again the logical the tables. Actual data gets stored in a database in a table, but views are the logical tables. The data actually gets stored in the tables, but views are used to just represent a table with some specified number of columns, a specified number of combining one table or two table. We specify a view, and that view is used by the user, but on the background the actual table, the data is there in the actual table. So, in between the user and the table, the view we can create, and we can use this view to the users to work on that. it works similar to the table, but actually in the background the data is there in the table, it operations gets performed in the table only. Then we use create statements, create trigger, create procedure, create function, create sequence, like that. So, all these are the commands which comes under the category of DDL. Now, we have a creation of table. This one syntax of creating a table. Create table, here table name is there, column definitions, column constraints are there, we can specify on commit, delete, preserve rows. So, when we commit, what task will perform? Commit means performing the transaction into the table. When we perform some transaction into the table, the actual tables, the first instance do not get updated, it gets somewhere else also, somewhere else in the rollback segment in memory. If we commit from rollback segment, it comes into the table. Otherwise, when we roll back, the transactions is rollbacked, it is not reflected on the table. So, in between the actual transaction and the execution of a transactional command and performance of the transaction in the table, there is a buffer which is known as rollback segment, where temporarily it is performed, and when we use the commit command, those transactions are committed permanently into the table, into the database. Otherwise, there are provisions that we can roll back the transaction also. So, when we create a table, we need to ascertain some basic questions, identify the type of attributes. First of all, we ascertain what are the types of attributes we are going to have, identify columns that can and cannot be null. First of all, we will decide what are the columns that can be null or what are the columns that cannot be null. Then identify columns that must be unique candidate key. So, uniqueness of column, which are the columns we will have which will have unique values, we will decide first. Identify primary key, foreign key. If we want to establish some primary key, foreign key relation, we also should decide in advance. Determine default values, we can determine default values. Identify constraints on column, and then create the table and associated index. We will see the example the next slide. Here, in my last video also I discussed this one. We have created this table student, in which the not null constraints has been there. So, the student roll number and student name will never be null, student age will never be null. So, whenever we want to insert some value into that, they will have to give some value for these three columns, otherwise the record will not get inserted into the table. So, here we have specified the not null constraints while creating this table name student. Second one, uniqueness. We want to maintain the uniqueness in the table. For a particular column, we specify student name varchar 35 is the size of the string, size of the name. It will be not null as well as unique also. So, here we are specifying that the student name must be there something, and it must be unique also. So, database will maintain, the table will maintain the uniqueness on the student name, and secondly this will be the not null, and secondly student address will also be unique. So, this is how we have enforced some constraints while creating this table. Default values, we have specified the default value here. In this table student, the examination fee, which is of type integer, will have default value 10,000. It means, so whenever a person want to insert some data in some record in the table, if the person specifies some examination fee value, it will get inserted into that. Otherwise, if a person keeps it blank, in the table it will not be null, it will store the 10,000 value into that. So, default value is 10,000, otherwise the user will specify, is free to specify any value. Check constraint is there. So, roll number integer not null, check roll number greater than 1000. It means, so roll number must always be greater than 1000. That is there we are specifying while creating this table. So roll number will start from 1001, 1002, 1003 like that. So again, primary key, foreign key. In this table, department number is the primary key. In this table, employee, here we are creating two tables, employee and department. Department table, this is the primary key. Employee table, these are the attributes, these are the columns, employee number, employee name, job. These are the data types, hire date, the date on which the employee is being hired, salary, commission, and then department number. Here DEPT-NO, here also DEPT-NO is there. So these are the two different tables. So DEPT, now we are specifying some constants here. Constants PK underscore EMP, primary key constants or on employee number, and the name of the constant is PK underscore EMP. You can give any name of the constant. So name has been given, name of the constant has been given as PK underscore EMP, and the constant is to maintain prime. This is the field, this is the attribute which will be primary key for this table EMP. Second constant we are specifying here, whose name is FK underscore DEPT-NO, and this is a foreign key, that this DEPT-NO is going to be a foreign key for this table, which will reference department numbers, department DEPT-NO. This is the foreign key here, which will reference the primary key of this table, DEPT table. So this is how we have created two tables and established the referential integrity between the two tables on the column DEPT-NO. And the DEPT-NO for this table, it is the primary key, for this table it is the foreign key. So whenever someone wants to insert some value into the table, this is the DEPT table, this is the EMP table, DEPT number, D name, and then location, third column, and this is the employee table, EMP table, employee number, E name, salary, DEPT-NO. So in this table, DEPT-NO is primary key. The values are 10, 20, 30, 40. Department name is marketing. This is sales. This is production. This is department number 40 is HR. Location is different. Marketing department is Chennai. Sales department is in Kolkata. Production department is in Bangalore. HR department in Delhi. So now, since the referential integrity is there, has been established in these two tables using these commands. So whenever a user wants to insert some value in the EMP table, say for example employee number 1002, employee name Mohan, salary 10,000, department number 20. So it will validate, internally it will validate the 20 department number is there, exist or not. So it will see that okay, it is existing, it is a sales department, location is Calcutta, so it will insert the record, it is okay. If someone wants to insert 1003, Sohan, salary 5,000, department number 60. So again it will go for validation. It will see that there is no department that exists in the DEPT table with the department number 60. So it will throw a referential integrity violation error. So referential integrity violation error will take place. Why? Because we have initially we have established the department referential integrity constants in between the two tables. So, whenever the referential integrity constants are there, it validates, it enforces the user to follow the follow the constants which is there. Now, we will see the transactional commands, how to perform transactions into the database, into the tables. So, basically the transactional commands are insert, update and delete. These are the three transactional commands using which we perform the transactions into the database on the table. As I told earlier, the transaction first takes place in the buffer, in the rollback segment. There is a temporary segment where the transactions takes place, log files are maintained and accordingly, and then when we commit the transaction, it gets reflected into the table permanently. Otherwise, if there is no commit is there, it will be in memory only. Now, in the EMP in the department table, that the table that I showed at the last slide, we have inserted some values like this. Insert command, insert into department values 10 marketing Mumbai. This is department number, this is in department name, this is location. Insert into same table values 20 production Chennai. Insert into department values 30 HR Delhi. Insert into department values 40 Kolkata sales. So, 4 departments are there in the department table. Here the first column is department number having values 10, 20, 30, 40 and this one is the primary key. So, uniqueness is there and primary key also, this column is primary key also. It means the database is maintaining the index also on this column. Uniqueness is there and automatically implicitly they are maintaining index also on this column. And then we are inserting some values into the EMP table. Insert into EMP, here it is DEPT, here is the second table EMP, values employee number, employee name, job, manager, employee number, it is the manager number, date of joining, salary, commission and then department number. So, these are the fields which are being inserted. Department number 20, yes it is 20 is there because referential integrity is there. So, it will get inserted. Second row will also be inserted into the employee table because the department number 20 is there, yes it is there. Third row will also get inserted because department number 10 is being inserted, 10 is also there. So, this is how we have inserted some values into department table and then we have inserted some variable where some records in the employee table. And internally primary key, foreign key relations are being maintained. This is the example of update command. Update EMP, this is the update command, query SQL query command, update EMP, set salary is equal to 15,000 where employee number is equal to this. So, it will update the EMP table for the employee having employee number 1003 and it will update the salary, old salary with a new value this is 15,000. Delete from, this is the third transactional command, delete. So, delete from EMP where employee number is equal to 3. So, this command will delete the record from the EMP table, the record having the employee number 1003. So, transactional commands we saw insert, update and then delete. So, these are the 3 transactional commands. We have transactional control command, these are the another transactional control commands which is commit and rollback. As I said earlier, commit means whatever transactions we have performed, it will get reflected into the table permanently from the rollback segment. One rollback segment is there which system maintains in memory. So, first the transaction takes place here and when we commit it goes into the table. If we roll back, it will not go into table, it will be rollback. The table will remain have the older value. So, this is all about rollback segment. The DBMS maintains this segment internally and waits for the commit or rollback, or alternatively after some time they have some time period, a specified time period. After some time period, they automatically commits this value. Whenever you log out from the system, it will commit first and then it will log out. Then you can log out. Then they are the select commands. They are very important for querying some data, for querying some important information out of your database, of your tables. You need to have very strong command on the select command. Select command is the command which helps you retrieving the required information, required attributes, required tuples from the database as per your requirement, as per your requirement of the application. So, this is the basic, this is very important, this is the basic layout of this the options of the select command. This select command is having these options, and these options are optional. You can use 2-3 options, like any of the 2-3 options out of that, but if you are using all the options, they will be in the same sequence. They must be in the same sequence only, otherwise your SQL select command will not get performed. Say select, then we specify the attributes, what attributes we want to select out of the table, or out of one table, or out of more than one table. You can have more than one table, you can select some values using more than one table also. From name of the table, name of the relation or relations, one relation or more than one relations, where you can specify the condition. Say for example, select those employees who are having salary more than 10,000. So, where salary greater than 10,000, you can specify here. Select employees who are working in department number 20 only. So, where department number is equal to 20, you can specify the condition here. Then group by, this is the grouping condition. You can, while selecting some tuples, while selecting some records from a database, you can group also, group by department number, group by job, like that. So, on the column, the attribute on which you want to group, you can specify here. And then you can apply some condition on the group as well. If you want to apply some condition on the group, then you have the option having. So, having clause is used to apply the condition on group, where clause is used to apply the conditions on the records. Having clause is always used with group by option. So, there is a difference between having and where clause. You cannot interchange like that. So, having clause will also work with the group by option. If you want to apply some condition on group, you have to use having clause. And then finally, you will be using the order by to represent the data on this as in the report, in which order by the column, order by department number, ascending order, descending order. By default it is the ascending order. If you want to the records to be displayed on descending order, you just have to specify order by this DESC, descending, order by this DESC. So, it will display the things in descending order, otherwise by default it is in ascending order. Now, see the example. Select asterisk from EMP where salary greater than. Here we have used select command. Asterisk means all attributes, all columns, from name of the relation, name of the table, which is EMP, where salary greater than 8,000. So, here we have used this where clause. So, it will give you the those attributes, those tuples, those name of those employees, records of those employees having salary greater than 8,000. Now, the second command, select asterisk all attributes, all columns from EMP where department number is equal to 10. So, it will fetch the records of those employees who are working in department number 10. Select employee name, salary from EMP where department number 10 and salary less than 6,000. So, here we have mentioned two conditions and both the conditions must get satisfied. The conditions are department number 10, the employee must be working in department number 10 and their salary must be less than 6,000. Then those employees will get displayed, and that too in the order by salary, ascending order of the salary. In the employee name and salary will get displayed where ordering will take place in salary column. The minimum the employee name having minimum salary will get displayed first, and then next the employee name having maximum salary will get displayed and the last of the record. This example, select employee name from EMP where employee name like S string, X percentage means the employee name whose name is starting with S, capital S, and next any string will get displayed. Say in this example, the last example, employee name is starting with S, Suresh. So, Suresh Kumar will get displayed only. So, percentage means any string. Similarly, we can have underscore, which means one character. If we want to match one character, single character, then we have to mention underscore. If we want to match any number of character, that is a string, we just can write percentage. If select employee number, employee name, department name from EMP, DEPT. Here we are using both the relations, both the tables. The tables are employee EMP and DEPT, where EMP.DEPTNO is equal to DEPT.DEPTNO. The employee table, here we are want to fetch the employee number which is there in the EMP table, employee name again in the EMP table, but department name is not there in the EMP table, it is there in the department DEPT table. So, that is why we have used both the tables here, but which department name they will display. So, corresponding to this employee they will get the department number, and then department number then it will match with the in the DEPT table the department number and department name. So, corresponding name department name will come here. So, employee number this, employee name this, marketing department, employee number this, employee number this, employee name this, sales department, like that. Next we have the query, select employee number, employee name, department number from EMP, group by department number. So, first grouping will take place. Here we have not used the where clause. As I told earlier, we can omit some option also. So, we have not using any where clause. So, it means we are performing our query on all the records. Group by department number. So, department number wise grouping will take place. Department number 10 will have one group, 20 will have a second group, 30 will have third group, and department number 40, employees in department number 40 will have fourth group. Having odd department number greater than, now having department number greater than 10, now we have done some condition, we have applied condition on grouping. So, the employees who are working in department number 10 will get filtered out. So, only department number 20, 30 and 40 employees department will get considered, order by department number. So, first of all, employees working on department number 20, their name, their number and name will get displayed, 20, 20, 20 like that. Then 30 will come, and then department number 40 will come, employee working department number 40 will come. So, this is the query where we have used select from group by having order by. See this one, this query, select department number, sum cell, department number is there, summation of cell is there from EMP group by department number. It means they will perform grouping on department number 10 in group will 1, their summation of salary will take place. So, department number 10 having summation of salary say 5 lakhs, department number 20 grouping and their summation of salary will take place say for 8 lakhs, like that. 30 will have some amount, department number 40 will have some amount. So, department number wise grouping will take place and this group function will work on the individual groups. Last, this one, this query is being like that, employee number, employee name, department number, EMP, select these 3 columns from this where salary greater than 5,000. So, it will filter out all the records whose salary is 5,000 or less than 5,000. Next, group by department number, then grouping will take place department number wise. So, department number 10 group will be 1, second group will be of department number 20, third group will be of department number 30 and fourth group will be of department number 40. So, 4 groups will be there because in our database, the table we have 4 department numbers only, the table that we have taken as example. Having department number greater than 20, then again filtration is taking place, then this filtration will filter out the department number 10. So, 20, 30, 40 will be remaining and then department number order by department number. So, this ordering by department number wise ordering will be there. So, department number 20 is employees whose salary is greater than 5,000. Only those employees will be there whose salary is greater than 5,000. Again in department 30, those employees will be there whose salary is department number 5 greater than 5,000, 35. And the last 40, department number 40, all the employees will be there whose salary is greater than 5,000. So, we have used all the options. So, just have to know what the options are and how to use and what are the use of those options. So, thank you very much. These are the basics of the SQL. There are various more options are there. There are various complexities, more complexities are there, but these are the basic one. If you are strong in basics, you can formulate any kind of query out of the database, out of the tables. So, thank you very much. Thank you.